John F. Kennedy, or JFK as he was popularly known, was more than just a politician. He was a charismatic leader who captured the imagination of the American people with his youthful energy, inspiring speeches, and unwavering commitment to social justice. Born into a wealthy and influential family, JFK grew up with a strong sense of duty and public service. He attended some of the best schools in the country and was exposed to some of the brightest minds in politics, business, and academia. But despite his privileged upbringing, JFK never forgot his commitment to the common good. After serving in the Navy during World War II, JFK was elected to the House of Representatives in 1946. He quickly established himself as a rising star in the Democratic Party, with his eloquent speeches and his passionate advocacy for progressive causes. In 1952, JFK was elected to the Senate, where he continued to champion civil rights, economic opportunity, and international cooperation. He was widely seen as a leading contender for the presidency, and in 1960 he announced his candidacy, launching a campaign that would electrify the nation. JFK's campaign was marked by its youthful energy, its progressive ideals, and its focus on the needs and aspirations of ordinary Americans. He spoke out against racial discrimination, called for greater economic opportunity for all Americans, and promised to lead the country into a new era of peace and prosperity. Despite fierce opposition from his Republican opponent, Richard Nixon, JFK won a narrow victory in the 1960 election, becoming the youngest person ever elected to the presidency. He was inaugurated on January 20, 1961. And his inaugural address is still remembered as one of the most inspiring speeches in American history. In his inaugural address, JFK called on Americans to rise to the challenges of the new decade and to work together to build a better future for all. He famously declared, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." As president, JFK faced a number of significant challenges, both at home and abroad. He inherited a country deeply divided by racial tensions, economic inequality, and Cold War anxieties. He also faced the threat of nuclear war with the Soviet Union, as well as a number of other international crises. Despite these challenges, JFK remained committed to his vision of a more just and peaceful world. He worked tirelessly to advance the cause of civil rights, signing into law the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and taking bold action to desegregate schools and public spaces. He also launched a number of groundbreaking initiatives in the areas of healthcare, education, and space exploration. He established the Peace Corps, which sent young Americans abroad to work on development projects in impoverished countries, and he launched the Apollo program, which culminated in the historic moon landing in 1969. JFK's presidency was cut tragically short on November 22, 1963, when he was assassinated while riding in a motorcade through downtown Dallas, Texas. His death was a profound shock to the nation and the world, and it continues to be the subject of intense speculation and debate to this day. Despite his brief time in office, JFK's legacy as a transformative figure in American history is secure. He inspired a generation of Americans to believe in the power of government to effect positive change, and he challenged the country to live up to its highest ideals of democracy, justice, and equality. John F. Kennedy was not just a president, he was a visionary leader who inspired millions of Americans to work for a better future. His legacy continues to resonate with people around the world, and his contributions to the cause of peace, freedom, and equality will never be forgotten. John F. Kennedy was a charismatic leader who inspired many people with his words. His speeches were often filled with memorable quotes that captured his vision for a better world. Here are some of his most famous quotes. "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." This quote is from Kennedy's inaugural address in 1961. It embodies his belief in the importance of civic responsibility and service to the nation. It has since become one of the most famous political quotes in American history. "The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing." This quote reflects Kennedy's belief in the importance of taking action against injustice and oppression. He recognized that it was not enough to simply condemn evil, but that people had a responsibility to actively work to prevent it. "Let us never negotiate out of fear. But let us never fear to negotiate." This quote reflects Kennedy's belief in the importance of diplomacy and peaceful conflict resolution. He recognized that negotiation required courage and a willingness to compromise, but that it was essential for maintaining peace and security. "A man may die, nations may rise and fall, but an idea lives on." This quote reflects Kennedy's belief in the power of ideas to shape the course of history. He recognized that ideas had the potential to inspire people and create lasting change, even in the face of adversity and opposition. The great enemy of the truth is very often not the lie, deliberate, contrived and dishonest, but the myth, persistent, persuasive and unrealistic. This quote reflects Kennedy's belief in the importance of truth and honesty in public life. He recognized that myths and falsehoods could be just as damaging as deliberate lies, and that the pursuit of truth was essential for a healthy democracy. These quotes are just a few examples of the wisdom and insight that John F. Kennedy shared with the world. His ideas about leadership, public service, and the importance of a free and just society continue to be studied and celebrated today, and his legacy as one of the greatest presidents in American history remains secure. We appreciate your support in watching our videos. If you enjoy learning about political, business, and science leaders' biographies and quotes, please consider subscribing to our channel and giving us a thumbs up to help us grow and continue bringing you valuable content.